Hello, and welcome back to Basic Spanish for OT, PT, and SLP. My name is Juanita, and I will be your host. I am an occupational therapy assistant as well as the author of this book, Basic Spanish for OT, PT, and SLP clinicians in the acute hospital setting. This book, as well as the ebook, can be purchased on Amazon.com. I encourage you, if you're going to follow along, it makes it much easier if you have the book. You can still follow along if you don't, but I encourage you to get the book. I think it would be very helpful. There's a few things I want to go over. Number one, if you like the videos or you like these videos, hit like. And if you want to subscribe to the videos, that way you'll get notification, then you just hit the subscribe button. And lastly, if you know any clinicians, healthcare practitioners that are interested in learning some basic Spanish, then tell a friend. The videos are free. It's on YouTube, so it's free videos, and I think they could be helpful. Today we are going to be working from page 27 in the book, where we are discussing question words. Okay, so vamos a empezar. So the first one we're talking about on page 27 is who, and that is said quién. ¿Quién? ¿Quién? The next one is what. ¿Qué? 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 The next one is when. ¿Cuándo? 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 The next one is where. ¿Dónde? 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 The next one is why. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Next one is how. ¿Cómo? 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 The next one is how many. ¿Cuántos? Or cuántas. ¿Cuántos? Or cuántas. ¿Cuántos? Or cuántas. Whose? ¿De quién? ¿De quién? ¿De quién? The next one is if you're asking someone, do you have? So do you have something? So it's tiene or tienes. Tiene or tienes. The next one is do you need? Necesita or necesitas. Necesita or necesitas. Do you use? Usa or usas. Usa or usas. And the last one is do you want? Quiere or quieres. Quiere or quieres. Quiere or quieres. So it's important for you to understand something in Spanish, that in Spanish we don't really have this in English, that there is a formal way and then there's a familiar way of speaking. In the hospital, many times you use the formal way. But you can, if you have built a rapport with your patient, sometimes you can use the familiar way. So that's why I'm giving you both of them. So let's go back to the first one, who. So let's say, for instance, you're asking someone, ¿quién es esta persona? ¿Quién es esta persona? You're asking them, who is that person? Who is that person? The next one is ¿qué or what? What day is today? ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿Qué día es hoy? So you're asking them, what day is today? The next one, let's say for when, you want to ask someone, when did you eat? ¿Qué comiste? I'm sorry. ¿Cuándo comiste? Forgive me. ¿Cuándo comiste? ¿Cuándo comiste? So you're asking them, when did you eat? The next one is where. So we could be asking a patient, where do you live? ¿Dónde vive? Or ¿dónde vives? The next one is why. You want to ask the patient, let's say you're asking the patient, why are they here? ¿Por qué está aquí? ¿Por qué está aquí? Or ¿por qué estás aquí? ¿Por qué estás aquí? ¿Por qué estás aquí? So you basically ask them, why are they here? For how, you may ask a patient, how are they feeling? ¿Cómo está? Or ¿cómo te sientes? ¿Cómo se siente? Either or, how are you feeling? Or how are you? For how many, if you're asking a person how many children they have, you may say, ¿Cuántos hijos tiene? ¿Cuántos hijos tiene? Or you can say, ¿Cuántos hijos tienes? ¿Cuántos hijos tienes? Whose? So if you want to ask, you see some shoes in the room and says, ¿De quién son estos zapatos? ¿De quién son estos zapatos? ¿De quién son estos zapatos? So you're asking, like, whose shoes are they? Okay. The next one is, ¿Tiene hambre? ¿Tiene hambre? So in Spanish, you're not really asking them, are you hungry? You're asking them, do you have hunger? That's the way it's said. So you're saying, ¿Tienes hambre? Or ¿Tiene hambre? The next one, do you need? So if you're asking someone, do you need anything? So before you leave the room, sometimes that's usually the last question we'll ask. ¿Necesita algo? ¿Necesita algo? ¿Necesita algo? Or if you're more familiar, ¿necesitas algo? ¿Necesitas algo? ¿Necesitas algo? Do you use? Let's say you're asking, do they use hearing aids? ¿Usa audífonos? ¿Usa audífonos? ¿Usa audífonos? ¿Usa audífonos? So you're asking them, do they use hearing aids? And then the last one, do you want something? Do you want something? So you can say, I don't know, ¿qué quiere? Or ¿qué quiere? ¿Qué quiere? Another thing that leads me to another point also. A lot of times the tone, so ¿qué quiere means what do you want? It sounds kind of rude because if we say that in English, sometimes that could come across kind of rude. What do you want? But just like anything, it's the tone that you're using. So if you're talking to someone and you're going, ¿Qué quieres? Like they're bothering you with that tone, that will come across that way. But if you walk into a patient's room and you say, ¿Qué quiere? ¿Qué quiere? They would understand you're asking them what you want, and it wouldn't be considered rude. So again, I'm at the 9-minute mark. I said that I want to try to keep each video less than 10 minutes. This way you have an opportunity to listen over and over again as you need it. So I hope that this has been helpful. Gracias. Adios.